Welcome to the Kicking the Forward podcast and our special servant leader series. I am excited to be interviewing today Miss Julia Roth at Susquehanna University. Julia is amazing. We were talking before we started pressing record, and if you've heard of the name Bo Jackson, if you heard of that name before, the greatest athlete ever, well, it's not Bo Jackson. It's Julia Roth, who earned 16 varsity letters in high school. What that means is she played four sports for 4 years. Julia, how you doing? How you feeling?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, we're excited that you're a servant leader, but before we get into the interview, we got to talk about this 16 varsity letter thing because I thought I was doing something in high school. I played varsity basketball all 4 years. I thought, oh, I'm doing something. You played. Talk about that. 16 varsity letters.
Yeah, it was so fun. So I went to Allentown Central Catholic. So it's a little bit of a smaller school compared to the public schools that were around us. So it was fun to have coaches that were really willing to let me, if I had to miss a practice for a meet or kind of like reverse things around. It was fun to just always be busy and active and have the chance to just constantly be playing and like playing with some of the best girls that I'm still close with to this day.
So basketball, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
you track and field.
Yep.
What else?
Soccer and cross
Soccer
country.
and man, that's amazing. Well, the first thing I always allow our servant leaders to do is to take 30 seconds to brag about themselves. But I mean that in and of itself, that's enough. Why don't you brag about Susquehanna and the great program and team that you have?
Yeah, I chose Susquehanna because when I came on my overnight here as a senior, in high school, I absolutely fell in love with the culture of this team. Like we just did I remember coming to our senior's house and just doing a movie night and feeling so comfortable and welcomed and just knowing that this was the school that I wanted to be at. And it's really been showing because every season that, the last 4 years that I've been here, our record has just improved so dramatically every season. It just shows that with the culture growing and bringing in girls every year that are just come ready to play and ready to be a part of our culture, it just improves and gets better every year. And the competition around our landmark conference has really improved and just continues to get better. So the games are just getting more intense, more exciting. We have more fans coming out every year, and it has just been such an honor to be a part of such a great program.
Well, that's amazing. And also something else I learned about you. You are the oldest of all your siblings. And so I want to just bring that out because as a servant leader, you lead not just on the court, but off the court as well. So talk about how being the oldest has kind of helped you become a better servant leader.
Yeah, so being the oldest, I feel like I've talked to my parents about this as long as I can remember because you're the first one to go through things and you're like the guinea pig of trying to figure out how it goes. And that's not always easy, but when you're looking at it as like a chance to lead for your younger siblings and to show them, the right way to handle things or how to approach different adversity or situations you're faced with, it makes it a lot easier to handle because you're doing it out of care and love for people who are around you, and that matters so much to you. So being the oldest has always been something that's really important to me, and it's just has really shown as I grew up of just wanting to take care of the people around me and show them all the love that I can.
That's very important, taking care of the people around you. Now, what would you say is your leadership style? Are you one of those that you're loud and you're like, hey guys, let's, kind of a rah-rah person, or are you more like bring people to the side and kind of guide them through it? What's your leadership style set?
Definitely a lead by example sort of person. I'm not always the loudest in the gym, and I'm definitely not always the most vocal, but I'll always be the one who's working the hardest or the first one to grab someone's water bottle or to go help them up off the court. And if I need to say something to someone, it's more of a side conversation and like a little pat on the back or a little lift you up moment to just, keep the morale up and just continue like the good energy that we bring in the gym.
Are you like that with your siblings too?
Yes. Yes. Yeah,
That's
we're
awesome.
all very close, so it's always fun. And even with, so I'm here at Susquehanna, and then my sister is a sophomore at Scranton this year. So my brother and then my youngest one are still home. So even with a little bit more distance, it's more fun to, our group chat's always blowing up and checking in on how everyone's day is. And whenever someone has a game, we always send a good luck text in the morning. And that's something that my parents were always really big on is we like when we were all home in high school, we traveled to the gym as a major pack. Like there'd be all six of us every time. My grandparents would always come, and it was just a way of always being there to support each other. So that's something that's always been important for us to maintain, even when we're not all living at home.
That's amazing. Having that family unit
Mhm.
is important, especially when you're going through stuff. And the
Mhm.
name of this podcast is the Kicking It Forward podcast. And Coach Yao, who our Servant Leader Award is named after, she had a famous quote: "When life kicks you, let it kick you forward." Julia, what in your life has kicked you? Like, what obstacles have you gone through, and what have you learned from them?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you can use any adversity you're going with as a chance to grow and develop as a person and as a team, whether that's your family or your community or whatever you're around. But last year was especially hard for my family. So my sister was entering her freshman year, and she, like I said, plays soccer at Scranton. And in the first practice, she tore her ACL, unfortunately. And then this was her second time. So she did her other leg that while she was in high school. And then 3 months later, I tore mine. So it was really hard as a family because, like I said, we're all so supportive of each other, and especially in athletics, like we've always been competitive and supportive. So it was a lot for us to have two family members go down and go down in such a way that we had been through this before. It was the second time for both me and my sister, so it was even harder to try to, like you knew what you were getting into, sort of thing. But now this year, we both did rehab together all year. We were there to support each other and get through the adversity. And now we're both back to playing our sport. And like this year has just been so much fun to like be able to check in of how we're doing at practice and how we're doing at games and be able to give like stats and like feel good things rather than have to talk about how hard it is to sit and watch or to feel sidelined by something. So it's just been so much more fun this year, obviously, of being able to support each other. But, last year was definitely a year of adversity to try to push through. But, with the family support we had, and especially with my sister and I unfortunately going through it at the same time, we were still there to be able to support each other and like help each other kick it forward and remember that like the next year is coming. It'll be better after you get through the rehab sort of thing.
That's amazing. And suffering an injury in athletics, it can be devastating. Kudos to you all for not letting it get you down. You're a senior at
Hmm.
Susquehanna, yes.
Yes.
So what impact do you hope that your leadership will leave once you move on?
I really hope I can leave an example of like there always being that community support. Because I know last year, like I relied on my team a lot, especially not being able to play. Like I was still considered a captain for the team, but I had to have my voice be heard in a completely different way. So like I said, I usually lead by example, but my way of being an example was completely sidelined. So I really had to adapt and learn a different way of being able to lead my team. Um, and I think that's something that Coach Holko here at Susquehanna has always instilled that she doesn't call us captains. We've always been leaders, as our title because our main focus is to make sure everyone on the team feels like a leader because everyone leads in their own way and it's important to empower each other and lift each other up and that everyone has a voice on the team. So, with last year having a completely different way of having to lead, I hope to leave the example that everyone has a voice no matter what you're going through. Whether you're actively on the court, whether you're just not getting the time or the minutes you want, there's always a way that you can help the team and you can be there for each other and lift each other up and be a supportive leader no matter what you're going through or what you're happy with or not happy with, it's more important to be there for your teammates.
That was good. That was good. I love that. And I love that your coach doesn't call you captains, but calls you leaders. Like
Mhm.
that's amazing. And so the Kayal Cancer Fund was founded by Coach Kayal, and she battled cancer for 22 years on the way to a Hall of Fame career. Why do you think, Julia, it's important for there to be continual awareness around cancers that impact women?
I mean, it's just something that's so important because the more the awareness is brought up, the more it's brought up as a discussion and it just builds the community of support. And I know just last year, I mean, just with having an injury, which is nowhere near the battle you're fighting with cancer, I relied on my support group so much that when you're going through something so much more serious, especially a cancer that targets women, like you need that support group around you. And you need that community of to uplift you and get you through the bad days and all those things. And that's exactly what this K Out organization is all about is just growing that community and growing that importance and awareness of being there for each other and being able to lift each other up.
I love that. And Julia, before we let you go, you've been a part of our Play for K games, yes?
Yes,
So I
yes.
want you just to tell the folks watching or listening why they should participate in Play for K if they're not already.
I mean, it is such an important thing. So, one of my best friends from high school is actually the women's basketball manager at NC State, and her cousin Elisa played and was, one of their most amazing players. So, I remember watching the K Yao game for as long as I can and being over their house and seeing the march of all those strong, amazing women at halftime. And it's just such an empowering moment to, sit there with your family, watch this game, and realize what other people are going through and realize the community and support that they need because people are fighting things that you don't even know. So the KYAO game is just so important, and having everyone there just continues to raise that awareness and raise that discussion to the table. And it's just so important to show support and be able to grow that community for every woman.
That's amazing. Well, Julia, thank you so much for joining us. Do you have a couple minutes for some quick hitters, some fun questions?
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
Oh
So
boy.
I mean, you played, all the sports, Which sport was the most difficult for you to pick up?
I have to give it to cross country. It was always the most mental, like battle of pushing your time, pushing your speed, because it's such an independent race that you were always in your head of just having to have that mental toughness to push yourself more.
Got it. Oh, running. Oh, do
Hmm.
you enjoy running now?
Yes, yes, I still do.
Good for you. Good for you. So, your favorite five basketball players to watch, not the GOAT or who you think is the GOAT,
Oh
but your
boy.
five favorite to watch play at any level.
Mm. Well, I wish I could count my siblings for all of them because going to their games are literally like I'll drive home regularly from here just to go and watch them play. So I feel like I could count them as at least three.
That's three.
All
Okay.
right,
Two
that's
more.
three. That's three. Caitlin Clark, easily. You can't go wrong because everything about it is so fun to watch. And then Cameron Brink, I love watching her play.
I love that. Your favorite food.
Ice cream, easily. Always come back from practice and have some ice cream. Guaranteed.
What's your what flavor?
Anything chocolate.
Okay, I
Mm-hmm.
love it. I love it. Well,
Yes.
Julia, we appreciate you being a servant leader. Again, continue to do the great work that you're doing. Wish you many, many, many blessings on the upcoming season. And hey, we'll see you around
Thank you so much for having me.
for sure. Everybody, thanks for checking out this servant leader interview. Make sure that you follow us. Make sure you share this, and also make sure that you're fighting for the cause right along with us. We'll see y'all next time.